Welcome to Pull to Open. Each Saturday I recap the week's news and divide it into 5 subcategories: pop culture, politics, world news, science and tech, and gaming. So, let's take a look back at the week of July 21st, 2013. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is Melody Sheep, aka John Boswell. He has remixed Terry Crews from the Old Spice commercials to create a new song called The Power of Music. Go ahead and check out this short snippet of it here. Alright, so the first story we have today is a pop culture story. This story probably takes the award for the funniest news headline I've seen in a long time. Witness claims actress set fire to pants. So if you don't know, this story is actually about Amanda Bynes. Apparently she set fire to her own pants as well as somebody's driveway. She did try to escape in a taxi after the authorities were called, despite repeated attempts from the witness to keep the taxi driver from driving away. He did so anyway. Now the cops did pursue her and take her into custody. She is now at a psych evaluation clinic pending mental review. Now Amanda Bynes is a favorite child star of many people. I loved her in the Amanda Show, and I even had a crush on her when I was younger. Seriously, Amanda, you need some help. Hopefully the psych evaluation will get you the help you need. I mean, seriously, what's with those cheek piercings? Alright, so first up in politics, Congress has apparently set a new record for being hated. Yes, a resounding 83% of the people interviewed said that they disapprove of what the Congress is doing. The unfortunate reality of the situation is nobody's willing to step up and do anything. When Edward Snowden outed the NSA, I would have expected riots in the streets. Instead, there was nothing. I hardly saw any protest whatsoever. From where I'm standing, the Hunger Games doesn't seem too far off anymore. Speaking of the NSA, most Americans do believe that our rights have been violated by the NSA's spying techniques. But they still want to see Edward Snowden behind bars. The problem I have with this is you wouldn't even know about the NSA spying unless Edward Snowden had told you. And what most Americans fail to realize is that the NSA spying goes far beyond America's borders. There are plenty of countries out there who are upset with us over this because they believe we're violating their privacy rights as well, indirectly or not. Now, the reason I've told these two stories is because they both have something to do with the final story tonight, and that is that the amendment to defund the NSA has been denied, losing 205 to 217 votes. Now, while it didn't pass, this still tells us a great deal about what congressmen think of the NSA spying techniques. That means it's almost half and half. Some hate it, some want to keep it. But personally, I wouldn't mind seeing the NSA defunded or abolished completely after the complete disregard for the American Constitution. But that's up for you to decide. I'm going to go ahead and move into our world news category. Now this is technically two stories, but I'm going to go ahead and combine them anyway because they both indirectly have to do with the same thing. The UK has moved to ban porn and packed lunches from schools. Not the porn, just packed lunches from schools. Let me explain. Alright, so British Prime Minister David Cameron has moved to ban porn in the United Kingdom. Alright, now this does not mean that porn is banned completely. It just means that internet service providers will be required to ban porn by default. You can still specify that you want to have access to porn, but right out of the box, unless you've told them otherwise, your porn will be banned. This goes for existing customers and new customers as well. Alright, moving on. Now here in America, porn is considered a form of expression, meaning it's protected under the First Amendment. Don't you worry, Americans, you'll always have your porn. And the UK is also planning to ban packed lunches from schools in an attempt to create a healthier eating environment. Alright, now there are a couple quarrels I have with this. The first one being that, at least here in America, I'm not sure what the situation is over there, but a lot of families can't afford to buy school lunches. And that's one of the reasons that parents send packed lunches with their kids. Another reason is that a lot of school lunches, again, at least here, are unhealthier than what the parents are sending. Now I can understand if the parents packed an overpacked lunch with way too much food, or nothing but junk food. But the school lunches I would take to school was a sandwich, some chips, a dessert, and a drink. And that was about it. So, unless you're planning on making these lunches free to the students, so that the parents don't have to pay for it if they don't want to, or improving immensely the health factor of the food served, this is not something I would condone. Now, the reason I paired these two stories together is they seem to have a common underlying factor, and that is that they are both in an attempt to try and protect children from the dangers of the world. Right, now, the Prime Minister is quoted as saying, "In the darkest corners of the internet, there are things going on that are direct danger to our children and must be stamped out." Unfortunately, Mr. Prime Minister, no matter what you do, children are always going to find new ways to look at porn. Now, the one thing I do agree with about this is that it will also crack down on porn depicting rape and abuse to women, as well as give law enforcement agencies increased access to networks that will help them track down child pornography. Now, I don't care who you are, but porn is awesome. I'm just saying. But porn depicting rape, abuse of women, or child pornography is wrong, and it should be stamped out. Alright, so next up on the docket here, Boeing has revealed the interior of their new commercial spacecraft, and this has been partially funded by NASA, but it will be owned and operated solely by Boeing. Alright, now if you weren't aware, Boeing actually designed and built the Apollo command module capsule. Nothing really to joke about here, this is just a really awesome story. The interior of the ship actually, on the article below that you'll see, looks really futuristic. It's all white, it's got blue lighting, I can't describe it. Go check it out, it's really cool. Link will be in the description, just like every other week. Alright, so just like last week, 2 stories in the gaming category today. Before you go, and turn this video off, bear with me, because this story is about Microsoft and the Xbox One. Alright, now this is a good thing. Now Microsoft has actually announced that they're going to be opening up the Xbox One to independent publishing. That means that indie gamers are going to be able to create games for the Xbox One like they couldn't before. Alright, now if you follow the gaming or the console industry at all, you probably know that Microsoft pissed a lot of people off with their always online DRM, their 24-hour checks, make sure you are online, etc., etc. Now they have already announced that they're going to be reversing those things and going with a more PlayStation 4-esque format. However, Microsoft has seemingly extended an olive branch to indie developers, saying, "Go hog wild." Another great thing about this is that now indie developers can set their own release dates and prices. Microsoft has also stated that every Xbox One can be used for development. This is going to make it a lot easier for indie developers to develop their games, get them published, and out to the consumer. Unfortunately, with all the hullabaloo before, I still won't be able to push myself to buy one. I am happily content playing on my computer. Battlefield developers have now stated that they may be implementing cross-gen saves, meaning you can transfer your information, your stats, etc. from previous generations to the new generation. Another thing that they have announced is that the Commander Mode app that you may have seen in the E3 demo will be free. The Commander Mode app is an app that allows you to control the battlefield from basically anywhere you go, on a tablet, on a smartphone, etc. I'm not sure how the new mechanic will work out, but it does look pretty darn cool. Finally, following in the footsteps of its older brother Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 will also include a premium edition. Now I'm not sure what is going to come with that premium edition, but Battlefield 3 did come with all the DLCs as well as a few extra bits and bobs, so it does look like it could be pretty darn awesome. Anyway, that's our show. Thanks for joining me for this week's news recap right here on Pull to Open. As always, the links to all of these stories will be in the description if you want to go ahead and read them yourself. Now if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and head over to the official Facebook page and drop a like. Now the links to these pages will also be in the description. So I hope to be seeing you all here next Saturday on a brand new episode of Pull to Open. Allons-y!